morning, everyone. It's time to go on the record. Congressman Stephen Lynch, just back from the Middle East, his take on the safety and security of the nation and a slew of unsubstantiated threats against our schools. Plus the power of Iowa, our roundtable this morning, on the record with their projected winners of the caucuses. Boston strikes a deal with Wynne, but was it worth the political capital?
From WCPB Boston, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill, today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ed Harding, along with News Center 5's political reporter Janet Wu. Our guest this morning at OTR, a familiar face, Congressman Stephen Lynch. He has represented the 8th District from Boston to Brockton since 2001, a former iron worker and union president, and he lives with his family in South Boston. Great to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Ed.
Happy beginning of February, by the way. Happy beginning of February.
Good to
Happy
be with
Sunday.
You.
Yeah.
You just got back from Jordan, Lebanon, Turkey, and Hungary to examine the refugee vetting process. How confident are you in that process?
Well, I have to say at first I was very skeptical going over there because with respect to Syria and the Turkish border, as well as Jordan and Beirut, you basically have war zones there. And, you know, the Islamic State is firing rockets into some of those areas, and even where the refugee encampments are. So I thought that it would be chaotic and that we wouldn't be able to do a comprehensive and thorough vetting process. But I have to say that I was very impressed with what they had going on there. Both the UN High Commission on Refugees, the United States, we have several agencies there that are conducting vetting as well. I came away with the assessment that it's much more robust than I thought. They do fingerprinting, retinal scans. We went down, myself and Steve Russell from Oklahoma, a Republican, we went down to the border of Kilis, right on the border with, it sits right on the border with Syria. And we basically said to the UNHCR, we said, pretend we're Syrians, take us through the vetting process. What would we go through if we wanted to be resettled to the United States? So they actually took us through those steps. And in the meantime, they're actually interviewing families. So I basically said, look, I want you to allow myself and my interpreter to go in and sit in on these interviews. And we basically picked at random a bunch of different families to sit in with and went through that vetting process.
But we know that there are some terrorists that have managed to evade that process. How does that happen, and are they doing anything to stop that from happening?
Right. Well, those individuals, and we had the situation in Paris where two of the individuals in Hungary actually went up and participated in those attacks. Also, we had a person who had registered as a refugee go up into Istanbul and detonate with a suicide vest and kill 10 German tourists. Those individuals went around the process. We're talking about refugees for resettlement. If you're going to try to be resettled in the United States, you've got to go through this process. It takes about 2 years, and it's very, very thorough. That doesn't stop people from going, taking a plane to Mexico or to San Salvador and then crossing the border at the Mexican border.
But what's the old saying? Locks only keep honest people out, honestly. If terror groups are using refugees the program to place terrorists inside targeted countries, how confident are you that, let me drill down even further, how confident are you that we're safe in the Boston area?
I would say we are safe from refugees coming through the refugee screening process that we have set up. I think there's still
100%?
Yeah, I'd say nothing's 100%, but I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 9. There's always a possibility. There's two things it doesn't protect against. One is somebody flying to Central America or Mexico and coming across the border. The other thing it doesn't prevent is someone becoming self-radicalized. You bring somebody in at 4 years of age and all of a sudden, 16 years later, they're radicalized. You're not going to be able to stop that. But I think every reasonable precaution is being taken to address that.
Are any of these groups getting financial help from people here in Boston right now?
Not to my knowledge, but we have looked at some mosques, some religious institutions that have been supporting Hezbollah in the past. And there's also trade-based terrorist financing where people are selling cars and through trade they're money laundering money and getting it to some of these terrorist groups.
And some of it is happening here in the New England area, do you
I would
think?
say some of it's happening in the United States.
You're not so sure about New England or Boston.
Yeah, right.
Let me. I want to shift gears a little bit, and I understand. Here's where I'm coming from with this question. You live here, you care about here. This is very important to you. As a reporter here at Channel 5, I've noticed in the last couple of weeks there have been an inordinate number of bomb threats at high schools. I shouldn't just located on high schools. And what? If I asked you what's going on, what's going on?
Well, it could be just hooliganism. You know, it's just it doesn't. Not every single threat that's out there. I understand there were probably a dozen schools that were affected.
There were 15 on one day.
Right, that just random calls, but we haven't really been able to determine what the source of that is. It could be just kids acting out. You know, it's none of them have proven to be real. So it is disruptive, and it is creating a certain panic and concern among families and school administrators. But right now, we've had no indication that any of these have been
Right, but what does it say about the broader picture? I mean, yes, if some kid doesn't want to take a test, and bingo, that's might be the nature of it. But what does it say about in the broader picture?
Well, we are never going to be able to stop people from picking up the phone and doing something stupid. I mean, that would just require a level of security that we don't want in this country.
Yeah.
So we got to deal with it. But you know, it is it's lame. It's childish in some respects, and it's disruptive. But
Every
we've
threat
got-
has to be
we've got-
taken seriously until proven otherwise.
Well, we've got bigger fish to fry. We've got some real concerns that are out there that are tangible, and we've got to put resources against those.
You ready for the OTR pop quiz?
Never.
Yeah, what do you mean? No one has ever been more confident in this than you. You are the proud son of a South Boston iron worker and later joined your father as a member of Iron Workers Local 7. So let's find out how much you still know about the building trade on the OTR.
Goodness.
On the OTR pop quiz. Question 1. Which candidate did Local 7 endorse in this year's presidential race?
Oh, they're with Bernie.
There with Bernie.
You don't look too
I was
happy
like,
about it.
They never gave me an opportunity to represent Hillary and to go through the interview and speak on her behalf. So I'm a little upset about that.
Question 2. As you know, unions must file annual reports with the U.S. Department of Labor. According to its 2015 filing, which is obviously last year, how much did Local 7's business manager earn? And I'll give you a multiple choice.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not
Was
enough.
it 54,000? Was it 104,000? Was it 154,000 or was it 204,000?
I think 104 would probably be right.
154,269.
That's enough, don't you
His
think?
name is Lynch, Paul Lynch. Good man.
No relation.
Good man. No relation.
Okay, let's
No.
just want to be clear on that. We continue on the record. Stay with us.